Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video, this time on Olaf top lane. Now Olaf recently got a little bit of a rework, not major, mechanic breaking out type of thing. He basically got a little bit of a change on his W, E and ultimate. I think his Q pretty much stayed the same, his Q obviously being undertow, just the axe that he throws out. His W got a better lifesteal, I think, and more attack speed. And he also, when you press W, he also receives 1% more healing. So, and it's pretty also cool with the 2.5%, etc. The Reckless Swing got changed that it's now AD scaling, which basically means that you have to build some AD on Olaf to make him kind of useful in team fights, to make him a threat so people do want to actually go for you. And then finally, his ultimate Ragnarok. He got a bit of a passive buff that he gets a bit more resistances just passively, and then his ultimate itself gives you more AD, as well as the old thing that he can have no CC against him. Now this game I'm against a Rumble top, which is kind of a hardish lane for a Olaf, to be honest. While the enemy are looking for an invade, they kind of just back off as soon as they see us. But yeah, it's a hardish lane for any melee champion to try and deal with. But I would say Olaf is actually pretty good against Rumble. Right now, unfortunately, the Rumble is still in their base, but I think he does make it relatively on time to lane. But basically, this was the time that EU West was having really bad chat problems, and in Champion Select, chat wasn't even working. And from even memory, this Rumble wanted to try and go Rumble mid, but if you see a Rumble without chat, you'll probably just think he's going to go top. So he is coming to lane, and he probably will make it here relatively, making XP and all that type of time. I'm going to start just pushing the wave, or not really pushing it, trying to just get it down as quick as possible, just so I don't get behind in XP. With his Flame Spitter Q on Rumble, he probably can bully me out of lane relatively easily. Now you want to ask, or you might want to ask, what runes am I running this game? And I was looking around, Voidboy's been playing a bit of Olaf, Dyrus has been playing it. So I did a bit of research into it, and they are using Lifesteal Quints. And now I don't have a page purely set up for Lifesteal. I have my AD page, which is 2 Lifesteal Quints, 1 crit red, rest AD, armor and MR, and the remaining Quint being an AD one also. So I do actually have 2 spare rune pages now, my final collection, for the 2-for-1 sale that's out right now. While I'm pressuring the Rumble a little bit because I got level 2 just before him. He got it just now. Maybe I'll make a 6% lifesteal page. I'm not really sure. Anyway, we are obviously being top lane around the 3-minute mark. There's something always going to happen, like in the current meta. Shyvana is waiting in this bush. Probably she's waiting for Lee Sin, because Lee Sin is a lot more squishy than Shyvana early on. As you can see, that just the health difference. He's got a considerable amount of health. Now both of us in top lane did opt for the Doran Shield start. That is a pretty poor gank by Shyvana, and that is kind of the weakness of Shyvana. She's very good when she has ultimate, but honestly, she really is not very good in a situation that she has to run into the lane. Now, unfortunately, I did go for the Reckless Swing just to try and get that CS, but I unfortunately died just before I could get it off. So this lane, and you have to realize this lane is, I am very item dependent on Olaf. You can try and all-in people early on. I always tried to all-in people at level 2. And I would say it would still work now, but I just haven't found myself in that position. So right now I kind of just want to turtle, try and get as much CS as I can, even though I know I'm probably going to be behind in the early stages. And maybe I can make it up in the later stages, when I pick up that Spirit Visage, the Hex Drinker potentially, that type of thing. Obviously, Hex Drinker now on Olaf, if you're against an AP, is a really good item, as it gives you resistances and it gives you AD that, it scales up your Reckless Swing a lot better. So maxing spells on Olaf, I still max my Undertow. Being against, a pokey, AP, just having that Undertow to help get CS is probably a good idea. But you can max Reckless Swing if you're feeling very confident and you're going to build early AD. Like if you get a couple of Doran's Blades in there against another Bruiser, that might work. So anyway, just continuing to farm as much as I can. As I said, this lane early on is not going to be the most exciting. This lane does turn quite exciting, though, eventually. I promise you that it does. When I can get my confidence up that, right, I can now try and fight this guy. Now, obviously, not playing Olaf it was probably around 6 months. I'm not just saying that. Maybe I had the occasional A-Ramp match on him. But yeah, in a proper ranked match, I only had 2 this season anyway on him. But yeah, this was a really long time since I played Olaf. Now I'm starting to get to the grips with him again, and I quite enjoy when I haven't played a champion for a while and then just jumping straight in. I'm quite unique like that. I know a lot of people shouldn't do it or won't do it. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the elo I am around. I got Diamond. I'm always going to try my best. I'm never going to go out there and do bad. I'm always going to try my best. So yeah, we'll have to see. But anyway, Lee Sin is coming for a gank. Now the problem with this gank, Lee Sin's very squishy and he jumps straight into the Rumble. So it's a bit questionable, this gank, to be honest. I didn't really know what to make of it. Anyway, I am trying to kill the Rumble. Unfortunately, he hit level 6 and manages to get away. So yeah, that was a really bad gank by Lee. I'm not even sure if I pinged for a gank at all. I knew I was going to lose the early stage, and Lee Sin just kind of made sure of that with giving Rumble first blood. So made my lane a bit harder than it needs to be, but don't think I'm out of this lane just yet. Olaf is very strong. Now, I'll give my opinion just quickly on what do I think his change has done to him. It's hard to say. Obviously, only playing, one odd game on him, I can't say for sure if he's better or worse. I would probably say he's more balanced than he's ever been, in the fact that before 6 months ago, he used to be really broken. There was no way around it. He was broken. He could just run into people, reckless swing people like a third health every single time, and he was crazy good. Where then they nerfed him and he was useless. He had no damage, his tankiness wasn't great. Where now I think he is actually pretty balanced. You still have to have a decent lane phase, but yeah. Anyway, there is a gank going off, and I remember this Thresh did actually a really good job. He hooked someone back to get them off the graves, and this Thresh just saved this gank lane, so actually really well played by him. Now, one thing also worth to mention is our Taric, apparently, and none of us believed him, we didn't flame him about it, from what I remember, or obviously I didn't flame because I just generally don't, and as you can see, the Draven Ward, but apparently this is his first game ever as support, which... yeah, if you're diamond level and it's your first game as support, I don't think that's true. Anyway, we are going to probably just duel it out. As you can see, Rumble's items obviously has an advantage of me. He uses an ultimate actually quite poorly, it has to be said. Now, I am going to just go balls deep on him, try and get this kill, pop my Ragnarok, and bam. I managed to get the kill. He did a poor positioned ultimate. If he positioned it across the bush, I probably would have died. But because his ultimate wasn't at the best position, pop my Ragnarok, get that extra AD, Reckless Swing done more damage, and I managed to actually make the lane more even. Obviously, he is ahead still in CS, and he did have that extra gold of his kill from the First Blood bonus. But yeah, it's okay. So this lane now should start getting a little bit more exciting. I failed that Reckless Swing, obviously still getting used to the difference in damage that it does now. So yeah, we'll have to see. So I'll quickly mention while I'm going back, the next commentaries coming up, they will, I have to firstly say, LoL Replay has been suffering since the new patch the other day, and I pray to God that all of them will be fine. But I do have a Ari mid one that I need to do. That was a pretty good game. I haven't done an Ari one for quite some time, and she's still a popular champion, so that would be worth doing. I should have, in order, I would have done the Ari one first, but I know Olaf is relatively new and people want to learn how to kind of do stuff with him, so that's why I kind of brung the Olaf one forward. But I have a Corki one that went fairly well. I have a Elise top one that I did actually very well with. I do enjoy playing Elise, as you know. I do have 2 commentaries on her in the jungle, but none of them top, and some people actually have asked me, can we get a top one, because I only play Elise top or something along them lines. Anyway, going to still duel with Rumble. Now, the one thing I have to say about my own play, now he does pop his ultimate, poor ultimate again, as well as his ignite, so this does give me advantage. And you might think, yeah, I'm way too low to do anything. But wait for my regen to come up. Wait for me just to get a little bit more health, and we'll see what can happen. But what was I saying? I was saying something, and I've completely forgotten. I don't know. I'm really good at this. But anyway, the other commentaries I may as well just say are... there's going to be the Ari one, there's the Corki one, there's... the Elise top one. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I do have 2 commentaries already on Elise... jungle, but yeah, it's going to be the only top one that I have, and it's probably worth doing, as I did do fairly well. Let's just say that. There might be one more somewhere, but I can't really remember. But anyway, this lane right now isn't looking great for me, health-wise. I have to be a bit careful here. Item-wise, you can see I've bought my Kingle gem quite early. I love CDR on Olaf. I think it is like his bread and butter, in the fact that the more CDR you have, the more reckless swings, the more undertows you can do, and therefore do more damage. Anyway, Ignite goes down, Ragnarok goes down. Quite a cool new animation on Ragnarok, to be honest. Pop my Ghost and going to go for the kill. Now, obviously, the lower a Olaf goes in health, the more powerful he gets. If it hasn't been changed, I haven't even checked. So, yeah, it's still the case. Olaf's passive, Berserker Rage. Olaf's attack speed is increased by 1% for every 1% of health missing. So, if you're missing 80% health, there's 80% attack speed. And obviously, I was like 95% health gone there. So, I had a lot of attack speed, and that's what stuff you can kind of do. So again, I get the kill onto the Rumble. He's still ahead on CS, which isn't great, to be honest, but now I'm even shutting him down even more. As you can see, I've just picked up my Negatron Cloak, because, as I would probably say, with the new Olaf, you do need to build damage. But early on, your base damage of your spells is probably enough to do, get enough kills. And that's kind of what I'm just experimenting with this game. Now, unfortunately, they do 4v1 in the jungle. The enemy team, it has to be said, is playing better than my team right now. Just pure communication, I feel, is the way that they're winning. They just have more pressure. The Lee Sin has been not doing great. He opted for double Doran's Blade, which is a very risky start, and it didn't pay off for him. He's not done his best. But anyway, good steal by Ezreal. Manages to get that with his ultimate. So that does give us a little bit of a nice thing. Orianna's trying to get the Thresh, but he flashes away. Anyway, I think we did trade up a little bit in top. And as you can see, Rumble is relatively still winning the trades. But the all-ins, I win the all-ins. I'm probably waiting for my Ragnarok to come down, come off cooldown before I think of doing anything. But there is a relatively big wave, which, yeah, you don't want to fight in a big wave, even as Olaf. Use my W, pop the Lifesteal that I'll probably be getting from it. And yeah, I'm regenning quite good without even knowing a Vampiric Scepter or anything like that. If you get an early Vampiric Scepter on Olaf, yeah, you'll be regenning a lot. Probably close to Aatrox level. Pick up my Axe, then move on to the Rumble again. And that was an okay ultimate, but right now I'm like, right, I can tank this. Get there just, and then you just Lifesteal up. Now, the reason why I think I could have tanked that is because of how much MR I have. I have a lot of MR right now. So I'm going to return to base, being 3-0 right now. Basically even up the CS also, which is always nice. Anyway, bot lane is not doing great. It's the Taric that supposedly has never supported, which, again, I would say I would doubt. But by the way he plays and doesn't understand the role, it might be true. Because, yeah, we logged into the game. He said, what do I level on Taric? It was like, okay. But anyway, item build on Olaf. You can see my health is starting to get up there, but I've just picked up my Spectre's Cal, which gives me more regen and gives me more magic resistant health, which is always good. And excuse if you could hear my cold. I've got a bleh. So occasionally I might mute my mic and just sneeze or something. Anyway, return to lane, and Rumble right now, I don't know what he's kind of thinking. He's got himself another Doran Shield, but these are unique passives. They're not really going to help him that much. I already have a 2-level lead on him right now, which is a quite fair amount when, in the end of the day, he hasn't been anywhere but top lane. He does hit level 10, so it's only, it's brought it back down to 1-level lead, but still, that is not bad. Just pressuring him as much as I can. Now, he can't do much damage to me right now, and I'm going to decide to roam down. They are going to try and steal this blue because they know how weak our Lee Sin is. Anyway, I'm moving into the location, and Shyvana just uses her ultimate to just jump over my face. I'm doing a fair amount of damage right now, so I'm fairly confident that we can either fight or we can just secure our blue. So I'm just going to auto-attack it, and we'll see who gets it. Lee Sin, I think, did smite it just to make sure he gets it. And unfortunately, Orianna doesn't pick up the blue, but hell, we get our own buff, and that's kind of, the whole point. But anyway, going to be returning to the top lane, and right now, I think I remember myself thinking, right, I want to kill Rumble again. So I'm probably just going to jump on his face. Yeah, here we go. Jump on his face relatively straight away.
Reckless swing him and yeah, try and cut him off, but he kind of notices that he just runs directly there anyway. Now he still does a fair amount of damage to me. In the end of the day, it is a rumble, so his base damages is quite high without getting much AP. Now his build, I have to say, is it's okay, but it could have been better. The early haunting guys, because he got the early kill, is fine, but I would have probably opted for more armor. Now, against the Olaf, regularly, or you never used to build armor, so this is maybe because he's not used to the new Olaf, but because of his AD scaling now on Reckless Swing, and obviously Undertow does AD damage as well, maybe building armor is worth it. Anyway, Shyvana is looking probably to dive me right now. I am being quite a big threat, having the only kills actually on my team right now. So that is never a good situation when your top laner is the only kills, because I can't do anything right now in this stage of the game to pressure the map. Anyway, Shyvana is still looking for a gank. I am going to try and base, but I do recall Shyvana might... Yep, she runs out. She's trying to kill me. Rumble ult comes down. Again, not the greatest position. I use Ragnarok and my Ghost just to get out there nice and safe. Now, this Ragnarok animation is quite odd, but yeah. But anyway, my team, I think, yep, they managed to pick up one kill. Orianna got the kill, which, yeah, that's pretty good. Leeson got an assist. But they're trying to pressure this top tower, which I don't know about. Like, it's a bit odd. Rumble is losing the lane phase, so, yeah, I can kind of see why they want to end it, but we're going to see some pretty cool Lee plays. Nice kick, and any second, bam. Pretty good Lee play, so he hasn't made up for everything he's done not great this game, but that was a start, so yeah, good play. But anyway, they try to get the top tower, they don't get it, so that gives me a little bit of an advantage. Rumble is down right now, so I'm probably going to push the wave as quick as possible and go for their tower, as I will be doing a fair amount of damage. Now I pick up my early Spirit Visage, which gives me a lot of power against the Rumble, so just probably going to push this wave with Undertow. There we go. Try to pick up most CS, put my W to try and just get that little bit of extra attack speed, and manage to pick up... Oh, I missed one. Ugh. Anyway, going to move on to the tower. Now, Olaf is pretty good at taking towers. Obviously, as I said, I don't have any AD items right now, so it's not going to be as quick as it could be. But having the W is always a really nice bonus against when you're just tower pushing. Anyway, throw an Undertow out there. Obviously, minions are, attacking other minions, so they're not going to be focusing the tower right now. But it should be in the next couple waves if I could possibly get the turret. Rumble does come back into lane. He's picked up his Sorcerer Boots, which is probably an okay pickup right now because I do have the Spirit Visage, I do have the Null Magic Mantle, so I have so much MR, he's not doing that much damage to me. So that kind of shows he still wants to play aggressive against me, which is questionable, because I wouldn't say he's going to actually win a fight right now. He does hit me once with the, what are they called? The harpoon shot. Electro harpoon, yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, Ezreal does go down. So as you can see, this game is not going great for my team. They are getting, I don't know if the word is outplayed. They're just dying in general. So maybe it is outplayed. Turret goes down as well. So right now the score being 5-8 with 3 of the kills being on me. Rumble does get a little bit chunked from my Q and Reckless Swing. I'm still pressuring up top lane, and relatively soon I was thinking I could probably go for the dive. And I would say the one thing with Olaf that you do have to be fairly careful with is your mana. It is a little bit of a problem on him. Now, possible mana items you could get. You could go for the Triforce. Obviously, Triforce being fairly strong right now, it would suit an Olaf, but I would say get your core items before going for the Triforce. If you find yourself being in a fairly fed situation, then it's probably the way to go. Now, Orianna does pick up a triple kill, because I think they were staying under tower to try and get the tower really badly, and it kind of flipped on them, because Orianna is doing decent damage right now. So that's a pretty good comeback. They do manage to get a turret out of it, but having a triple kill on an Orianna is a fairly good start to get us back into the game. Anyway, their red buff is up, so I'm thinking, oh, this would be nice. So I'm going to pick it up for myself as quick as possible. Obviously, as you can see, not doing amazing auto-attack damage right now. That will increase eventually. But anyway, what kind of builds would I think are good on Olaf? Ravenous Hydra is a very good item on him. As I said, Triforce would be good on him. Hex Drinker, very good on him, and then you need the tankiness, you need the Spirit Visage or Banshee's Veil. Not maybe even Banshee's Veil, because you do have Ragnarok. It might be useful if something could catch you off guard, like a grab or something, But a lot of the time you want to be in the middle of a team fight as a Olaf because, especially in this game, we have an Orianna. A Olaf Orianna is amazing because they cannot do anything about me running into their team. So yeah. Anyway, there is Shyvana is coming top again. Shyvana has been top quite a lot, and I have to say unsuccessfully. She hasn't done she's done a good job around the map, obviously, because they do have the early lead. She's 2-1-2, so she's been doing pretty good. But anyway, Orianna is in the area. I'm totally right now, so I have to be fairly careful. I do pop my Ragnarok to get the increased AD, just so my auto attacks do that a little bit more. But we're going to try and go for the kill. Orianna picks it up, and then we're going to turn onto the Rumble. I do have the red buff, remember, and I just pop my Ignite on him, and then I pick up the kill for myself. So me and Orianna are, I think, all of the kills. Okay, we're all the kills but one on our team. So me and Orianna are playing very well together. And the combo of Olaf and Orianna, as I was saying, is amazing. It's better, I would say, than most things. Now, obviously, always taking Ghost on Olaf is pretty much a must if there's not a Jarvan in the game. Simply because you won't get on anything if you don't. You really need the Ghost to catch up. Because I was playing a game yesterday and there was it was really weird, but there was an Olaf mid lane and he had flash and it really didn't work. It was really bad. He just couldn't, jump on our ID carry or anything. But as I was saying, the Orianna and Olaf combo, put the ball on Olaf, pop his Ragnarok, run into the middle of them with Ghost that they can't see him away or anything. Bam, Orianna ult, and you could get a 3-man Orianna ult really easily. So it's a really nice combo. But anyway, CS in this game, I have to say for myself, hasn't been the highest. Obviously, kills have taken precedent in this game, with having quite a lot of them for a top lane 1v1. But, I'm relatively even with the Rumble in CS, so I could have done a better job there. But a lot of the time, when I got a kill, I based pretty much straight away. Anyway, I'm going to try and make my way down bot lane as quick as I can. They're running away from the Shyvana. Shyvana has turned onto the Ezreal. Going to do our best we can. Lee Sin does make his way in. Thresh is trying to keep me away. I don't want to pop my Ragnarok yet because I don't think that would be the best idea. Anyway, I was trying to stand on the lantern to try and make it so that he couldn't, do anything about it. I put my Ragnarok, but it doesn't really do anything. It just runs out before the threshold hits me. So yeah, that wasn't the best, play at all. But Rumble doesn't really make the most of it. He didn't push up the top wave. He basically robes the mid. The item build on Olaf now, I've got my Tiamat that will eventually be building into the Ravenous Hydra. Anyway, Lee Sin is running onto the Graves. I am trying to make my way in. Obviously, I don't have the ultimate right now, so I did get a mini CC there. But anyway, going to try the best we can. Good combo by Lux, has to be said. Good ultimate by Orianna. Going to move on to the Lux myself and pick her up. And then going to move in for the Thresh. Use that and get the double kill. So there's a double kill for myself. There is still a fight going on, which, is not going great for my team. So I don't really know what's going to happen now. Ezreal is kind of doing nothing right now. He should be rushing to get here as quick as possible, but he decides to just CS, which is a bit questionable. But I'm going to try my best to do anything, but I think I don't manage to do anything, I don't think. So still, Ezreal is just CSing. So yeah, it's a bit annoying when you're trying your best and someone is just, derping, maybe be the word. He probably would have got there in time, and we probably would have been able to pick up the Shyvana. So yeah, that was a bit annoying, but it happens. But he is probably going to pick up the either mid tower or Rumble is actually the situation. I think Ezreal was typing there because I think a couple people did question why didn't he come. So yeah. Anyway, going to be reviving in just around 15 seconds. So we'll be getting back up. Picked up my Tiamat and also just picked up my Hex Drinker. Because they do have a lot of AP damage. Shyvana does AP damage with her W. Lux, obviously. Rumble. Thresh does, he does a mixture. And obviously Graves does pretty much just AD with a bit of AP on his W. Just revived, so going to move back probably to top lane, I'd say. Push this out really quick and see what we could do from there. There is a little bit of a back and forth, I think, around the dragon area because it is probably going to be up or maybe up in the near future. Lux is top, trying to push it as quick as possible. Now, I could probably kill this Lux very easily if she does stay around the area. She is fairly strong, so I can't underestimate her damage. But I can just run through her, her CC, etc. Anyway, they are, well, the enemy team are kind of just pressuring. They are moving around the map as a team. Lux is still top, and I'm moving into mid lane to see if we can make a fight happen or something along those lines. Anyway, Shyvana is, well, she has a Sunfire now, so Shyvana's actually pretty big, pretty damn tanky, but there is a big wave in the top lane. Rumble is bot lane with the Orianna. Orianna does manage to pick up the kill on him, so well played to Orianna. And I think, well, I'm just pushing up top wave, so I'm not going to go over there just yet. But you're about to see Orianna playing this, pretty well. Thresh actually saves Orianna from the Graves ult, which was pretty funny. Now, Thresh ult wasn't a great one because she just stayed in the middle of it. So, yeah, that was well played to Orianna. She does manage to pick up a double kill and does go down to Graves, but that's still pretty good. Anyway, I do go for the blue buff, and as you can see, I accidentally popped my ultimate, which does allow me to do blue buff quicker, but doesn't allow me to do now anything in mid. So it wasn't the best idea, but as I mentioned, it was an accident. So yeah, I do pick up the blue buff for myself just for the CDR, as I do like that CDR on Olaf. Going to be grouping with my team now, seeing if we can do anything. Use my Tiamat just to get that little bit of extra damage in there. And this mid tower is probably our next big target. They have our mid tower, we don't have theirs, so that's, as I said, that's probably the thing we want next, just to open up the map a little bit more. Lux was probably looking for a bind there or a Taric and wombo combo him to death. Use my undertow, and there's a Lux ult went down. Not a great one, has to be said, but it's probably just wave clearing mainly. They are all going for the blue buff just to secure this for Lux, because blue buff on Lux is pretty damn crucial, has to be said. Anyway, Lee Sin is in the area trying to steal it or something along them lines, but I think Lux probably will secure it. We may be looking to have a fight here relatively soon because Ezreal is making his way back. Orianna bought on me. She then throws it back into the wave to pick up the CS. But you'll probably see something very good in the near future. Bam! 3-man Orianna ult. I go in with Ragnarok and seeing the best we can. So right now, Olaf 1v4. Trying the best I can. Get one of the kills. I'm trying to get my team to do stuff. But unfortunately, we didn't have a minion wave. So it's a 1-for-1 trade so far, so we'll see where it goes from now. Shyvana ult goes on top, we pick up one of the kills, and that might be it. Rumble actually positions fairly badly there, and I think he will go down. So, yep, double kill, we continue for more kills, and another kill. So it turns out into an actual good situation for us. Needling an ace. Now, excuse my cold, it is actually getting the worse the longer periods of time I talk, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, my team is moving on to the Baron, which is arguable, I would say. Lux is going to be up, and our damage on the Baron isn't massively high. It is going down, though, fairly well, but I was still a bit if we could do it, because, well, actually saying that, they are nowhere near. So, actually, well played to my team. I was kind of wrong in that situation, but I remember myself being quite nervous about it. Anyway, I'm probably going to move to this top wave and pick up the CS. I picked up the Swiftest boots. Because I do love the movement speed on Olaf with the Ghost just running at them. Unfortunately, Orianna does pick up majority of that CS, which is quite annoying, but, whatever. And I pick up my Vamp Scepter, which will be building to the Ravenous Hydra. Ezreal is trying to pick up the Dragon by himself, but does beat the friendly neighborhood Shyvana. He does just E over the wall and gets away. I think probably will be giving Drake away to the enemy, which is unfortunate, but, we're not going to contest something, just, Ezreal's not going to do it by himself. Anyway, the enemy team are looking to try and group, which is a bit questionable because we do have Baron. Normally you try and split as much as you can when the enemy have Baron, but they're kind of not doing that, which allows me to try and push this top wave as quick as possible. But Lux ult does come down, which gets rid of most of my wave, well, all of my wave pretty much. And still, I'm looking to do something. I do get binded, which is annoying. So I'm going to try and kite them as quick as possible. I do turn onto the Lux, seeing if I could just pick up an easy kill. But as you can see, I am getting all of them here. I've got 1, 2, 3 in shot, 4 incoming. And my team should be trying to get this turret ASAP. So still chasing. It's quite a good chase. So my team is just getting the mid turret. Is not really excited. So I follow this. Using my undertow as much as I can, trying to escape. I think, Shyvana's used her Ghost already. I do turn onto Shyvana, trying to heal up as much as I can because Graves moved out the area. But Graves ult does hit me. Graves flashes to try and get into the area. And I think I eventually will go down. Shyvana used ultimate to finish me. So they chase me the whole way around the map. and then they do die. 2 of them die. They pick up the first mid tower, and maybe they'll push for the second. So yeah, that was very much worth it. They are looking to get this turret though, which is a bit annoying, but I will probably take this turret here, well, this turret here, this turret here, this turret here, and 2 kills over my death and 1 turret. So yeah, that was pretty good. That's kind of what Olaf can do, and that was what I enjoy doing on Olaf. You just split push like mad, and then you have to get like 1v1. You could just 1v1 everybody on the enemy team, and then they have to send 2 or 3 people to deal with you. Now, we may even get this turret here, which would be even more worth it if it does go down. And we do get it. So that whole play was very much worth it. I will move over to this area. Unfortunately, that Orianna ult was a bit of a fail. Lee Sin is getting a little bit caught out, but he has flashed, I think, behind, or he's just very deep into the enemy's base. Now, they have to be very careful here. Rumble ult goes down. Not a bad positioned one. Could have been better, but he does get the Orianna quite well. Quite a lot of flashes are going down. These, the Flame Spit are doing a lot of damage. Ezra ult goes down, hits quite a few of them. Lux ult hits 2 of them. Lee Sin does go down, which is unfortunate. But Ezra is just free at auto-attacking from the side. So the enemy have to be relatively careful. I'm doing blue buff right now, and they're going to absolutely just push top wave as quick as possible. If I could get top wave, if I could get this tier 2 turret right now, that would be great. They do have a bear inhib, so they also have to be quite careful of that. So we are at a very good position right now. Obviously, with the Ravenous Hydra now, I am pushing the wave fairly quickly, especially when I have the proc like that. Trying to quickly push, use my Reckless Swing to finish off the cannon, and just start tunneling my wave to the tier 2. Anyway, they are continuing basically to fight, which is a bit odd. They are outnumbered by quite a bit. They do have Barrier buff, however. That was a pretty good Ezreal flash. Taric does manage to get out so far, but does go down, unfortunately, to Graves. Now you're about to see, I think I remember this, so right now I'm like, right, you're dead. So I pop my Ragnarok and just tower dive him. I'm just going to, I'm going to go for you. That was a very poor Rumble ult, so yeah, it wasn't great. Now I do go back to some minions. Just as you can see, my lifesteal right now very high. Move back in for the Rumble, pop my Ghost, and any second, bye-bye. And then again, I've got the whole crew. Now this is what I mean by attracting people, in that I've got the Lux, do a little bit of dodge. It's got the Lux, Graves, and Shyvana again. Now my team right now should be doing stuff, but why are they basing? I don't know why they are basing. I'm still trying to push. Now I do turn onto the Shyvana, trying to do as much damage as I can. I thought by now these guys would have given up with the chase. Try and dodge as best I can, but I do go down to the auto attack, attracting 3 of them, as well as the Graves at one point. But yeah, my team was basing, which is very poor communication. Right now, they should have pushed up here. They would have got this turret, or they would have got this inhib for free. But yeah, they based, which is a bit annoying as myself, when I'm trying to split push and kite them as much as I am. And it's not really, it's working to a certain extent. So yeah, things could be better. That's pretty much all that has to be said. Good damage by Orianna. The flash out by Thresh. His ultimate does go down, so now Thresh doesn't have ultimate or flash, which is always nice to know. I do pick up myself a Phage, which eventually will be building into Triforce if the game were to last that long. Taric is being a bit burned in the butt by a Shyvana, but I think he does manage to get out okay. Lux thought she hit the bind on Lee Sin, but he actually doesn't. Ezreal does decent damage to the Rumble. Orianna is actually at half health, so they have to be careful, my team, right now. I am going to be making my way there, so they have to still be very careful. They are going to probably pressure for this turret. Lux doesn't have ult right now because she used it to try and kill the Lee Sin, or just poke the Lee Sin a little bit. So we do have pressure on this turret, especially when I move into the area. Now, questionably, we could just move in for the free inhibitor, which would make all of our minions a little bit stronger. That would probably be the best thing to do, but my team wants to opt for getting the turret. Taric and Lee Sin are actually split pushing. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I kind of make the decision, right, the inhib is probably the thing to do. So I just make my way over there. And with me going over there, it kind of just gets my team to come over here too. Now, being me as fed as I am, as tanky as I am, obviously my kills have racked up compared to what it was. But me split pushing as much, attracting that attention, has kind of made me die 2 or 3 times. Which is probably, I'd call worth on it anyway. Anyway, going to move in for the inhibitor. My team is being... well, not really zoned anymore since chunking that Okay, flash. I was waiting for that. It was flash kick by Lee Sin, so it is okay. They don't have a thresh for the fight, and then we move over to the mid lane. Now, as you can see, the ball's on me. Going to tank up this turret. Going to be hitting it as much as I can. Minions have moved into the area, so I'm going to move back and then move back in. And we have to be fairly careful because the fight is coming down. Pop my Ragnarok and just head straight for the graves. Again, I am attracting as many as possible just to come on me. As many as them are on me, the better for my team. If I have 2 of them or 3 of them on my team, that's them not on my carries. And that's every situation that an Olaf wants. They're going to continue the fight and absolutely wreck it. So, yeah, worth it fight for me. Ezreal was hardly touched in this fight because, for some reason, Rumble and Shyvana wanted a tunnel vision for me. So that's kind of how I play Olaf, and that's the game. So anyway, this was Olaf top. Hope you guys enjoyed it. More commentaries to come soon, and hopefully my cold goes away. So please like, subscribe, and all that type of thing, and I will see you next time.